Most people, if given the option between something that's going to make them comfortable or uncomfortable, will pick the former. And so that's why you see people flocking to Starbucks in droves every morning, because they can't go to work or class without a latte in their hands. That's why you see people bundling up in early September in winter jackets and scarves when the temperature drops a few degrees because they're too afraid to be a little cold. That's why people sleep in every morning instead of going to the gym and doing something productive. So in this video, I want to encourage you to pick the latter option. Instead of constantly seeking out ways to make your life easier and more comfortable, choose that harder path, because most of the time it is actually better for you. And here's why. Being uncomfortable has a number of benefits, the most notable of which I'd say is that it raises your standards for what you consider to be difficult in the future. Because the hardest thing you've ever been through, or the most uncomfortable you've ever been, that becomes your standard for comparison. And then all of a sudden, everything else seems to just be easier because it just doesn't quite stack up. And so what does this enable you to do? For one, it enables you to take on challenges that would otherwise be intimidating or difficult for you because they're easy now. But more importantly, I think it enables a profound sense of appreciation for those things that you do have. And when you can appreciate something that adds value to your life, then that makes you happier versus constantly focusing on what you don't have and taking those things you do have for granted. That just makes you unhappy. So for example, I can say confidently that I'm happy about the fact that I get to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning, because in comparison to what I had to go through in the Army when I had to wake up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning, it's much easier. But I still hear people complaining about that because they don't have that same standard for comparison. Also, it develops a number of redeeming character traits, taking that harder path. It makes you more disciplined, it makes you tougher, makes you more respectful because you know what it's like to be uncomfortable and have to make sacrifices. And so when you come across somebody that's been through similar ordeals, you respect them because you know what that's like. And generally speaking, taking the easy way out is not as healthy for you. So choosing the harder path is actually healthier for you in most cases. So for example, if you want to go out and stay up late because you'd rather be drinking at a bar or watching TV or something, then it might be easier, but it's not as healthy for you. Same thing if you start to bundle up too soon when the weather starts to cool down, you're not letting your body get acclimated to that change in weather, and so you end up paying for that later. So start seeking out ways to make yourself a little bit more uncomfortable than you are already, instead of always pursuing the alternative of looking for ways to be comfortable. So take the stairs instead of the elevator, get outside every once in a while and acclimate yourself instead of being indoors all the time, wake up early instead of sleeping in, have a regulated diet instead of eating whatever you want whenever you want. And if you do all these things, then you will start to see improvements in many areas of your life. So try it out, let me know how it works for you, and I'll see you in the next video.